reviews.
Saving my metadatas. What do we get today, Gary? It's called the Super Console X. Smoothly runs 80 emulators. It's from our friends at Gary. It's from our friends at KINHANK, or as I call them, KINHANK. Super Console X smoothly runs 80 emulators. Powerful performance. We'll see about that. It's got an SD card, USB 1, 2, AV, Ethernet, HDMI, DC in, and power. What? Isn't DC in and power the same? Whatever. Don't give it to a baby. Well, let's see what's in the box. This is probably the actual Super Console manual. Well, that's no help. I don't read Chinese. Flip it over. Oh, it tells me how to use the gamepad. Uses 2 AA batteries. I thought it was AAA. What am I going to do with these, Gary? You screwed up again. A use manual. Safety precautions. Don't store it in a dusty, humid, high temperature and strong magnetic environment. Don't use it in a swimming pool. No. You can use it in a swimming pool. You have to pay special attention when you're in the pool or the bathroom. It's not waterproof, so when you take it in the pool with you, just be very careful. And, oh, that's not a good sign. What is that, the buttons? What's making that? Oh! Let's give it a real shake test now. That's much better. Just a little USB port. Wait. Those are AAA. I'm sorry, Gary. Well, it's not my fault that the instructions are wrong. So we got one of these. Gary, I'm not going to let you play right now, so we're going to use the second controller for later. Let's just put that somewhere. Dang it. I got our controller to the side, USB. Let's see what's in the guts of this son of a gun. Oh, what? Comes with a USB 2 4-port adapter. HDMI. Looks like it's real HDMI. Is it? A little power brick. And the main star. Why does this have plastic on it? Ew. But I mean, nothing goes in here. Why would you have plastic? AV, Ethernet, HDMI, DC power in, on, off. It's supposed to be like an optical port here. SPDI. Are you getting that, Gaz? SD card. It's got a little sticker on it. I don't know if Ken or Hank put that sticker on there, but by God, it's not giving up the ghost. Might be the strongest sticker I've ever encountered in my whole life, Gary. Get the knife. I'll get you off there one way or the other. Well, it's part of the console from now on. It's never coming off. Okay, see if I can get the SD card out. It's unbranded. 256 unbranded memory card. 256? That's an awful lot of games. Hey! Okay. Let's pause for station identification. Well, me and Gary hook up all these dang cords into my old monitor. You're listening to Zoo's Reviews on WKZU Montana. Whoa! Emulec? Cannot display this video mode. Wait a minute, Gary. Am I gonna have to get the other monitor? Okay, well, what's it output at? Damn it, Gary. Of course it takes the other fucking cord, Gary. Why wouldn't it? Look, I said I was sorry. Can you just stop crying? Just, fine. We'll go get an ice cream. Honest. What is, oh, yeah, well, fine. Sorry. No, sorry. We'll just get ice cream. Let's just go get ice cream. Let's try this again. Hey. Alright, does this controller work? Yes. So this is Emulec 3.9, and I think this is running Android 7. This looks like a basic Emulec setup. We got, oh boy, almost 4,000 Super Nintendo games. You got Japanese. I don't know that there were 14,000 Japanese games, but Super Nintendo hacks. Virtual Boy. Oh. N64, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. Wow, almost 3,000. Pokemon Mini, DS. This plays DS? Okay. Ports. This is kind of cool. Beats of Rage. How are there 132 Beats of Rage games? I hope there's no hentai. It's filth. That's what it is. Hentai is just Japanese dirty cartoons, Gary. I'm kind of impressed by this. Now, we're going to see if they all work, because a lot of times some of these images, stuff doesn't work. But, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot on here. Sega CD? Do they have Snatcher? Snatcher! Oh, a little custom splash screen. Oh, wow, that's really sharp. Has the bezels? You load up RetroArch? That's pretty cool.
I'm Gillian Seed. I've been assigned to Junker headquarters effective today.
Oh, you're Mr. C. Please forgive me.
Alright, well, these themes are installing. We got Dreamcast, Naomi. I don't even know what that is. The Sharp 68,000. We got the Sinclair Spectrum, Neo Geo CD. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on here. And so far, everything works. So, I tell you what, the huge draw of this thing already, it's pick up and play. I could give this to someone and say, turn it on, and here's 111 Neo Geo Pocket games. You didn't even know there's such a thing as Neo Geo Pocket. Here's probably the whole PlayStation library. It's already scraped. Let's try Klonoa. So the analog stick, it's already mapped. I mean, all the buttons are already mapped. It's nothing revolutionary for someone that's been, screwing around with Raspberry Pis or anything, or, emulation handhelds. But this is a really good entry-level type deal. And I think it's like $95 on Amazon. You got everything, right? You have all your games on here. You got all your bezels. Your controls are already done. It just works. And there's something to be said for that. Well, here's PSP. PSP Mini. Huh? All games. Every game ever. Alright, so the box says PS2. I don't see PS2 on here. I don't think it could run PS2. That being said, that's not the end of the world. It's got everything up to PS2. I don't see... Did we see Dreamcast? Yes. So you can play PlayStation at 2x on some games. You can play Dreamcast. You can play all sorts of stuff. Let's see what Dreamcast looks like. Donald Duck going quackers. I tell you what, this controller, it ain't nothing to write home about, but it gets the job done. I'm going to probably fire up my wired SN30 Pro. Alright, got the FPS in the corner. 34. It's not promising. Gary, that's Japanese. That's why you can't understand it. Ah! This is... I mean, playable, but it's a little bit slow. Whee! I can't tell if I'm bad or if the controller is just not very precise. Hey, there we go. Let's see how PSP does, Gary. Wow, it's already rendering at 2x. Now, to me, the fact that that's already preset to 2x speaks to some sort of optimization for this chipset, for this version of Emulec, for this unit, the Super Console X. And that's cool. I appreciate that because I feel like this is marketed as, hey, do you want to play every single game ever from Atari all the way up to PlayStation and Dreamcast? Well, just plug this into your TV and you're good to go. You want to get someone involved? You want to gift for a relative? You want to gift for a kid or a friend? You want to indoctrinate someone in our filthy cult? Then this might be a way to do it.
Okay.
They both agree. This is playing pretty well. I mean, I missed my exit. But there's some dips. If I bounce this back to 1x, I feel like it would play really good. Well, that's chunky. And I just drove into the river. Well, Sergeant Martinez, sorry about your bike. This is probably comparable... Whoa! This is probably comparable to like a 353 series. Maybe like a Retroid Pocket 2. That kind of deal. Oh no, Boba Fett!
I don't know what you're talking about.
X gon' give it to you. Huh? Knock knock, open up the door, it's Mega Man. Let's see what kind of bezels it has. Maybe it'll look like an arcade. Maybe it'll have Simpsons. It does! It has Simpsons specific bezels. That's cool. I like that Marge just takes her vacuum cleaner with her into town. She's anticipating trouble. pure skill. It's not that I just keep adding quarters. We did it, Gary! First try. What do you have to say? Making eggs. Yeah. Yeah, I make eggs too, I guess. Alright, Gary, Super Nintendo works. So I got the SD card in, and boy, that tape is still on it, that sticker, whatever it is. I don't know. It's hanging on for dear life. But I got the SD card in, and it looks like there's a partition for EmuElect, which really has the system stuff. And then the rest of it, 230 gigabytes, with about 5 gigabytes free, is games. You can see all sorts of folders, and like right here, CPS3. I didn't see CPS3, but if I open it up, it's empty, but it's there. So maybe I can throw some CPS3 ROMs in. It's like the ROMs are zipped, which is good because that will help with storage. Yeah, Nintendo DS, that's zipped. How are they doing PlayStation? Oh, cool. CHD. I prefer that format. You don't have to worry about two files and two pictures, and you don't know if you're opening up the bin or the Q or the Z or the R. Ha ha ha, alphabet joke. Well, Gary, I thought we could simulate the old-fashioned video game experience of using a real TV. I was getting some weird artifacts on the monitor downstairs, so I figured let's go to the guest room and sit on the floor right next to the TV and play video games like little kids. I changed my UI to Alec Full EmuElect. I think it's a pretty nice theme. There's a similar one that I use on Daijisho, on my Android stuff. All right, let's try Virtual Boy, because we hate ourselves, Gary. We just really don't like ourselves, so we're going to play Virtual Boy. I had a Virtual Boy when I was a boy, and I still have it. I can't play it for more than probably 15 seconds because something's wrong with one of the lenses, and it gets out of focus, and it makes me feel like I have to throw up. Which is funny because the real Virtual Boy experience, you probably had 10 minutes until you felt like you were going to throw up. It's just really a bad design. I don't know why you even emulate it, but here we are. Whoa! Okay, so it plays Virtual Boy at a solid 50 FPS. But the question is, why would you want to play Virtual Boy? Whoever designed this emulator was so concerned with whether he could, he didn't stop and think about whether he should. I mean, this is playing really good. We're stuck right at 60. Super playable. Booyaka shaka, Gary! See how Paper Mario goes. Seems like there's a little bit of graphical issues, but see how the game itself plays. Tasty sweets! Gary's not allowed to have too many tasty sweets. He has to watch his sugar. I mean, the fact that I'm sitting here just watching the game and kind of feeling nostalgic, I mean, that's a really strong selling point for this thing. Yeah, I mean, there's no tinkering. There's something that's really cool about just plugging it in and playing an old N64 game. I'm feeling the magic. What are we doing? Nintendo DS. Let's see how this is set up. Now, we can't touch the screen. Is that Bob Saget? We can't touch the screen, so that might be an issue. I like how this dude moonwalks. Okay, so once crap. Once I got this kind of mapped the way I wanted, it's not bad. So DS games like this, where you're just using one screen, I think it's very playable. Yeah, the ones where the bottom screen is just kind of like a heads-up display or a menu, I think you can play pretty easily. Jeffrey, he's a fisherman and he likes reggae music. Oh, jeez, Jackie. Super rude. Especially because I don't know what any of the controls do. Oh, what are you gonna do about it, Jackie? Kick me in my face too? That's fair. Stall for time. Or kill you at the very last second. Anyway, Gary, Sega 32X seems like it plays pretty well. Most stuff plays pretty well on here. Let's go back to the old lab and get our final thoughts together. Gary, What did we learn? We learned that the Super Console X from KINHANK, those guys, is a very capable entry-level Android EmuELEC retro box. You take it out of the box it came in, you plug the cords in, and you plug it into your TV, and wowie kazowie, if you have 2 AAA batteries, you put them in the controller, and you're playing. You are up and running from the get-go. We didn't even really dig too much into it. Maybe I'll do another video. It's also just an Android box. You can start it without the SD card in it, and now I'm going to watch Netflix on my TV instead of buying a Fire Stick, instead of buying a Roku or whatever. I don't know, Goku. He wants to fight your Roku because he heard it was really strong. You can play anything all the way up from Atari to, I think, every PlayStation game. There might be 1 or 2 that don't work very well. You can play DS, you can play Dreamcast. Some of them don't work. You can play, the image that comes with this is beautiful. It has scraped box art for everything. It has descriptions of all the games. You have settings in place that get the best out of the performance of the chipset. PPSSPP was already set to 2x resolution and was optimized. N64 was optimized. I did encounter a couple issues where I tried to get it bumped up to double resolution and it just didn't want to do it. And it ran really, really smooth in native, so I wonder if maybe if it was at 640 it just wouldn't work, or it wouldn't work well. Maybe it was locked down, I don't know. But again, if you want to get in that level of tinkering, maybe this isn't the box for you. This is more, I want to get my friend involved. I want to have him plugged in to his TV and just, oh boy, I like retro games. Honestly, this is how I got started. I made a Raspberry Pi back in the day and started putting games on it. And then I said, hey, I read that you could do this portably. And then I started buying the portable ones. So it's a gateway drug. It does have some limitations like we talked about. DS is a little awkward because, you know, you can't really touch the screen. But games where you can have one main screen going, that's fine. But I mean, what more can be said, Gary? It's a very nice piece of kit. $100, get you pick up and play. You are ready to go right out of the box. And it has some extra features if you as an advanced user wanted to buy it and fiddle with it. It's a lot more capable than I thought it would be. And I think the presentation, the overall package, the fact that you just plug it in and go and it has all your pictures, all your text, all your stuff, all your settings. I mean, that's amazing for people that don't have time or don't want to tinker. I can unabashedly say I would buy it if I was looking for it. I had stuff like this. I built a couple pies for friends of mine. I have a pie that I don't use anymore. But it's that kind of idea, and it's pretty cool. And if you want it, buy it. I'm not going to stop you. Gary likes it. Maybe we'll put it in Gary's shed, and he can play video games. Maybe not. He gets everything wet. He spills. You gotta give Gary a sippy cup, you know, because he's got shaky hands. Well, anyway, let me know if you want me to keep doing videos on these little one and done units. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know what you guys like. Some people like food that's not spicy. I like food that's spicy. But it takes all kinds, you know. Take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and then you have Elfaria 2, Quest of the Meld.